What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be breaking down the latest events in the 7 Deadly Sins series, including the dark side of Chaos Power, a power that has the potential to do an incredible amount of good, and a power that also has the potential to turn all of Britannia into a living nightmare. Merlin appears to have a secret plan that Gowther may know about. Arthur's old friend returns for another friendly visit, and the entire world could be in existential danger once again. So basically it's just another casual Saturday in the world of the 7 Deadly Sins, so let's get into it. If you enjoy the 7 Deadly Sins videos on this channel and you want us to keep it going, please leave a like to let me know, it really does help. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. We've been getting more and more patron support lately, and it really means a lot when you look at all the problems facing YouTube on a daily basis. So thank you guys so much. More about our Patreon at the end of the video, but now, please remember that this video will contain 7 Deadly Sins manga spoilers. We are dealing with the latest developments in the story, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. In the official translation, chapter 340 is called I Miss You, and it begins as the Sins and Elizabeth suddenly find themselves back in Leonis. Everyone there is surprised to see them, including the king, Elaine, and all the others. But when I say the Sins are back in Leonis, I am of course not including our boy Big Daddy Sunshine, who is still dearly missed, and I am not counting Merlin, who decided to stay behind with Arthur. The rest of the Sins are wondering about Merlin and why she decided to stay alone with Arthur. Some think that she must be distraught, but Meliodas thinks that Merlin might actually be pleased with the way things are going. I assume that what he means here is that Merlin is happy that she gets to study the mysterious power of chaos after all this time. And indeed, when the chapter shifts back to Merlin, she does appear quite pleased. Arthur is resting inside one of the castles that his mind has subconsciously created due to the power of chaos, while the sword Excalibur appears to be constantly changing its shape. The sword seems to have dozens of little wings on it. Some are white and angelic, and others are dark and bat-like. Merlin wonders whether this is the sword's original form, or whether the sword is still unstable and is continuing to change because Arthur's magic has not yet fully formed. Merlin is highly intrigued by the power of chaos and by Excalibur, and when he wakes up, Arthur remarks that he hasn't seen her like this in a very long time. This is the Merlin that he's always known, inquisitive, curious, and excited about magical knowledge. Eventually, Arthur asks Merlin why she never told the rest of the Sins about the power of chaos. Arthur is wondering why Merlin would wait until now to tell them instead of being straightforward with her friends from the very beginning. But instead of answering directly, Merlin asks Arthur whether he hates her for resurrecting him as the King of Chaos in the name of her own curiosity and ambition. Arthur, of course, doesn't hate Merlin, and he says that this power is a great opportunity. The power of chaos is both a darkness that even the demons fear and a light that even the goddesses revere at the same time. The power of chaos also allows its master to create amazing things and defy the laws of the physical world. This means that as long as the power of chaos is wielded by a person with a good heart, there is unlimited potential for that person to do great things. Things that will help people who need it the most and make the world a better place. As Arthur says this, and as we see images of a happy world where people are dancing, singing, and enjoying themselves, the dark wings on Excalibur disappear and only the white angelic wings remain. This is very significant, and I will talk about it a bit later on in this video. Back in Leonis, the remaining Sins are still talking about Merlin and the current situation, and Meliodas wonders whether he ever really knew a thing about Merlin, despite having known her for so long. The 7 Deadly Sins as a group seem to be a thing of the past. After all, Escanor is gone and Merlin has abandoned the Sins, so their little group can never be the same again. King seems to think that Arthur will be fine now that he's managed to defeat Cath, and now that he has Merlin watching over him again. But Meliodas warns them that chaos is not gone yet. Meliodas reminds the Sins how incredible the power of chaos was, and how Arthur was just creating things and changing the world around them without even being aware of it. If at any time Arthur cannot exercise complete control over the power of chaos, If at any time he slips up or something happens to him that makes him emotional or unstable, just like all those wings turned white when he was feeling good and kind-hearted, all those wings might turn dark if he is consumed by darkness. So, Arthur could unwittingly unleash the darkest and most dangerous aspects of the power of chaos upon the entire world. Meliodas says that if the power of chaos ever gets out of control, Britannia could become a living hell. Chaos could destroy all of Britannia and turn it into a waking nightmare, just like the Demon King could have done if he had not been defeated. Chaos might be even more dangerous than the Demon King, because Meliodas knew the Demon King well. The Demon King was his father, and he was a member of the same demon race as him, so Meliodas had a very good idea of what the Demon King was capable of and what the true nature of his power was. But with Chaos, things are completely different. This power is a mystery. It is unpredictable, and it is different from anything that they had seen before. When Diane asks why Merlin stayed quiet about the power of chaos all of this time and only told her friends about it now, Meliodas says that that is a good question and that they'll never know unless they ask her for themselves. But Gowther then steps in and asks the rest of the Sins whether they really don't know the answer to that, implying that he may actually know the answer. The next page of the chapter takes the story back to Merlin and Arthur, so we don't actually learn what Gowther was going to say, but I wonder whether what he was going to say is related to his creator, the original Gowther. After all, the original Gowther was the one who trained Merlin and helped her master her magic, and the original Gowther was also the one who sacrificed his own life in order to end the Holy War from 3,000 years ago. I wonder if Merlin made some kind of deal with Gowther. A deal that involves using the power of chaos to prevent the Holy War from ever happening again. Perhaps Merlin will use the power of chaos to separate the different realms from each other permanently, thereby altering reality in a way that fulfills the prophecy that is mentioned in the intro of the anime. An intro which you may recall states that this is a story from ancient times, a time when the human realm and the non-human realm had not yet split. This implies that at some point in the future they will split, which would make all future holy wars between different races impossible. And so the reason that they are going to split in the first place may be none other than the power of chaos. Back in Arthur's chaotic castle, Arthur voices a desire to return to Camelot. But before Merlin can properly answer him, some sort of strange rumbling occurs. An ominous voice calls out to Arthur from outside the castle, saying that it knows that Arthur is here because it can smell him, and it is such a delicious smell. It is then revealed that the owner of this voice is none other than Cath itself. Cath was not destroyed by Excalibur. Instead, Cath has seemingly attained a new, even bigger form. And I have to say that in this form, Cath looks a lot cooler and more menacing than the previous one. This is an evil cat villain that a cultured weeb like myself can actually respect. The giant Cath has climbed up the castle turret within which Merlin and Arthur are located, and it is trying to find its way to Arthur in order to devour him. But instead of Arthur, Merlin emerges from the castle and tells Cath that she will be its playmate. Merlin then uses her magic, including her sacred treasure, the Morning Star of Aldan, to deliver the first blow of the fight, and it is a direct hit on the face of the new and improved Cath. The text on the final page implies that Merlin is putting her life on the line to protect Arthur, which suggests that Cath may turn out to be a more powerful opponent than we realized, especially if it is now strong enough to threaten Merlin's life. Personally, I'm glad that Cath didn't die so easily. In the last chapter, it seemed as if Cath was destroyed by a single blow from Excalibur, but if that were the case, then this whole Cath twist would have been completely meaningless. Learning that this creature, which has been around for a very long time and which we thought was Arthur's friend, was actually a villain trying to devour Arthur was definitely interesting. But I thought that after this big reveal, his easy defeat was disappointing and anticlimactic. With that in mind, I am actually glad that defeating Cath wasn't that easy for Arthur. However, the whole Cath thing will still be pretty meaningless unless it turns out that there is some bigger connection between Cath and the overall story. So, for example, maybe there is a connection between Cath and the Supreme Deity, as I speculated in previous videos. If that is the case, then the Cath twist this late in the story would make sense. But if Cath is a completely random and independent villain, then the whole thing seems kind of unnecessary. In that case, they could have just used any monster villain to come and try to devour Arthur. Why make Cath Arthur's pet in the first place? All in all, this whole current point in the story, the whole Chaos arc, really needs more direction, in my opinion. I feel like we are all a bit confused about what exactly is happening and where exactly the story will go from here, including the main characters themselves. They all look pretty confused too. There are too many unknowns at this point. From Merlin's true motivations and Gowther's cryptic statement about Merlin's true intentions, to the Lady of the Lake's role in the story and Cath's connection to the wider plot. I feel like we need more guidance right now. We need some sort of information about what exactly Merlin is planning, where Cath came from, who the next major villain is, and so on. Without this additional context, the current arc feels a bit disjointed. We had the epic fight against the Demon King, we had Escanor's sacrifice, and then after that reached its conclusion, we are just kind of moving along from mystery to mystery without a clear goal or purpose in sight. I do believe that Nakaba Suzuki is going somewhere with this, and I'm sure that it will all make sense and come together in the end, but we definitely need more direction. We need more context, we need more answers, and unless we get them soon, more and more people are going to complain about the story feeling dragged out. Although, to be fair, no matter what Nakaba does, somebody is going to find some reason to complain. That is the case with every mangaka. It's just a matter of how many people are complaining for what they believe to be legitimate grievances, and how many people are complaining just to complain. Personally, I do want to give Nakaba the benefit of the doubt because so many of the recent arcs were absolute fire, but I do think that we really need more guidance and more answers at this point. Who is the next major villain? Is it Cath, or is Cath just a warm-up for someone else? What is Merlin up to? Is she about to separate all the realms using the power of chaos, or is something else going on? Why was Merlin so desperate to attain this strange power of chaos? Was it really just curiosity, or is she trying to fulfill the legacy of her former master, the original Gowther, by using chaos to end the Holy Wars once and for all? Feel free to hit me up with your take down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like it, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. If you don't go through the trouble of clicking the bell and then turning on all notifications, you're gonna miss a lot of our videos. It's just how YouTube works. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who support our content and make these videos possible. First up, let me thank our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Alolanada, Makotakun, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, and Tyson Quirino. I also can't forget our awesome Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, $50 Beat, Alpha Dio, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky 65, Cricket XP, Rohan Kapoor, Jessica Maloney, Emperor Otaku, Timothy E. Vargas, Jean d'Arc, and Joe Stanton. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.